What's up, gang? This is episode 4 of The Crazy Train. So, we've been talking about a lot of things, a lot of different emotions that you deal with in a breakup, right? There's one emotion that I realized that we haven't talked about yet. We've talked about anger, we've talked about revenge, we've talked about revenge and anger, we've talked about sadness, but there's one emotion, the fourth one, that we have not talked about that is not very. Well, I shouldn't say that. It is important to talk about it, and it is important to shed some light on it. That one is loneliness, because you probably been with the person you dated with or dated for a while, and then all of a sudden they just break up with you, and you may not know why. There may not be a good reason. There may not be a reason. They just give you a crap reason. It doesn't matter. What matters is loneliness, because it's very important. Because you're obviously gonna be lonely. You're not with the person anymore. You're by yourself again, and you don't know how long you're gonna be by yourself. There's no end goal. There's no light at the end of the tunnel that there's another person lined up, because that's not how it works. So you're in a state of lonely loneliness and a state of depression in a sense, because you long to be with somebody. You long to have that person to call, to text, to cuddle with, to kiss, whatever it may be, to share your greatest moments and your not so great moments, to share those special moments with, right? But now you can't do that anymore because you're not with the person, so you're lonely in a sense. Now, a lot of us react differently to the loneliness aspect of being broken up with. Some push people away so you're even more lonely. Some people resort to online stuff that you should not do. But you're lonely, you're depressed, you're mad, you're sad, you're feeling mixed emotions in a sense. So you make stupid decisions. Some people resort to working out. Some people resort to isolating themselves. That's basically what everybody does, is they isolate themselves. Well, let me rephrase that. Not everybody does isolate themselves, but most people isolate themselves when they're lonely, when they're feeling all these emotions, because they're lonely. I mean, that's what I meant to say. Because they're lonely, they're isolating themselves, and so, in a sense, the major takeaway to this whole part is loneliness is the cancer of a post-breakup thing, and it's not good because it just feeds on all these other emotions, and basically you're in a vicious cycle of staying lonely for the rest of your damn life, which is not something that we want to do, because we need people around us. We need people to share those good moments, the happy moments, the sad moments, all the above. We need people around for all of that. Now, I could come up with a skit for something like this, but I don't know if I should, being as how it's going to be very difficult. Not for me, but it's going to be very difficult with the resources I have. But I could, to prove my point a little more. You know what? here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get ready for the skit, and we'll see how this goes. It may not turn out well, but you'll get the gist of what I'm trying to show. All right, see you in a minute. Let's see how this works. Let's go. What did I ever do wrong to her? Nothing. Gave her anything she wanted. I don't want to talk to you. Well, maybe my life would just be better if I just by myself. Nobody to hurt me, nobody to lash out at me. It'd be a lot better. Hey Marcus, what's up, bro? Yeah, hey, look, I can't talk right now, man. I'm in the middle of something. Alright, pause. So what did he do right there? He declined the friend's call a little bit, right? Yeah, that's what he did. But then he answered the phone. You know, he's obviously feeling down on his luck. He thinks it'd be a lot better if he just lived on the fortress of solitude, in a sense. He went from the island of relevancy to the island of irrelevancy. So he's feeling mixed emotions, right? Okay. Now, he answers the phone, right? To Marcus. And he basically lets Marcus get a couple sentences out, which could happen. And then he decides to say, hey, look, I'm busy, I'm in the middle of something, which obviously he's not. He just doesn't want to talk to anybody. He doesn't want to see anybody. He wants to be by himself because that vicious loneliness cancer is killing him. And killing his relationships, his friendships, killing his job, killing everything. Because loneliness is a cancer. Continue. Yeah, man, I can't talk right now, man. I'm pretty booked up for a while. Alright, bye. So, what did we see there? We saw a guy that was feeling mixed emotions, down on his luck, when he could have leaned on his friends and family to help him through it. No, instead, he decides to do it alone, and he decides to continue to let the loneliness cancer kill him and kill his relationships and everything he stood for. So loneliness is a cancer, and we can't let it overcome us. So what do we do in that sense? Well, as much as we don't want to, as much as that loneliness cancer will push back, we've got to let people help us. We've got to let people in. So I think this is going to conclude our breakup emotions part. We might talk about more breakups, but the next episode is going to be a different topic. Look forward to that one. And thanks for the support. Like, subscribe, send it to your buddies that need it. Hope you guys get better. Don't let that loneliness cancer kill you. If you need any help, lean on a friend. Or you can always lean on your family or whatever. So, see you guys in the next episode.